I had a chance to speak to him today, and I asked him why
man,
did you
get
do
this camera out my face, man. I don't have no comments. I don't want to talk to
They say they have new
nobody.
evidence.
Get up, mama, call my lawyer, cause it's time to go to trial. Time to go to trial. Time to go to trial. Pay attention and listen to what I'm saying.
Hello?
Our closing statement is the narrator knew what he was doing and tried to hide the body, which proves he knew he was doing wrong. He may have been sick, but he still understood his actions. That's why he should be found guilty.
Thank you, bailiff, and the ladies and gentlemen of the court. I am Jamara, your lead prosecutor. Thank you for listening to our presentation based on facts. You've heard and seen evidence of him, the narrator, admitting to his crime, concealing the body, and admitting to and committing perjury. According to the legal system, all of these counts are crimes that leads to incarceration. Although the other side may say that his insanity makes him innocent, the McDonald rule, a legal rule, this proves his insanity because he was fully aware of his actions, which was stated many times throughout the text. People of the court, remember the evidence provided of the multiple crimes committed by the narrator and the legal standard for his insanity, how it applies to his situation. Given the provided reasoning, we ask you find the defendant guilty.
Good morning. My name is Brandon Shorter, and I'll be representing the defendant. To reiterate, the defendant has been accused of premeditated murder, or first-degree murder, and we are trying to prove him not guilty by reason of insanity. Now I will call George up.
Good morning. I'm George. Good morning. I am George. I am with the defendant. I will tell you the definition of insanity. Insanity is the inability to think and behave in a way that is considered normal, and it also means that you might have mental illness. Now I will call up McKinsley and the cars.
The Midnight Rule states that a person is not legally responsible for a crime if due to a mental disorder. They did not understand the nature of their actions or realize that what they were doing was wrong.
Yesterday, y'all talked about this, but under the McDonald rule, my client is not guilty by reason of insanity because at the time of the crime, a mental illness made him unable to understand what he was doing or that it was wrong.
You may say he took precautions and killed the man with precision and sliced up the body nicely. However, he still has hallucinations that the eye was still bleeding, even though the body was disfigured, it was still beating at him, which caused him to have a breakdown. Now we'll call up Caleb Harvey.
As you can see right here, that is evidence cited straight from the story. It says, my feelings, my senses stronger, more powerful, my sense of hearing especially became more powerful. I could hear sounds that I never heard before, and I heard sounds from heaven, and I heard sounds from hell. Hallucinations are a clear sign of schizophrenia and or psychosis. This man had multiple instances of delusions throughout his murder, and his hallucinations led to the man.
These are the differences between a murderer or someone who's insane. A murderer is in full understanding of what they are doing, and they know what they're gonna do, and they know the consequences. He has a reason why he did it, and he already planned for it like days or weeks ahead prior. Now, an insane person, they won't understand the nature of their actions because they have a different mindset compared to normal people. They also experience things that normal people wouldn't, like Dr. Harvey said. He had delusions, and he was hearing things that should not be there. And he was doing some of the repetition, expecting a different outcome. That's we as sane people, we just understand that it won't change and just leave it alone. But however, since the defendant is not saying he's insane, he thinks different. He has a different mindset. And so I leave you with this question. I ask you to stop and really think. Why would he really want it so badly to kill the old man? I have some questions for the prosecution. Where did the DNA formula come from?
Where did your psychiatrist come from?
Answer our question, please.
The offended and the committee, right? Exactly, that's where it came from.
But the DNA is not really necessary because we know the man did it, and we're not trying to prove that it was somebody else who did it, or that we're trying to prove that he was in his right mind when he did it. We're not trying to prove if he was the one who really did it. We're trying to prove that he was insane and that he didn't understand what.
I'm sorry, you're slightly can you hold
We're not. We're not trying to prove that somebody else did it, because we know he did it, but we're trying to prove that he wasn't in his right mind when he did it.
Mind you, strangulation is purposeful. You know that, correct?
Okay. Y'all both of y'all, let's see it right there. Both of y'all sit right there and pass the mic back and forth.
I have another question for you.
But you didn't answer my question. Where did your psychiatrist come from?
I mean, a psychiatrist has to give him medicine to, when he was evaluated and put in the mental asylum, they provide you with psychiatrists so that you don't have to stay in the mental asylum forever. They want you to be rehabilitated and to get back out to the real world and stuff.
So how long does psychiatric hold?
For about 16 months.
That's how long does it hold?
It's nothing talking about the DNA, so why is our medicine a problem? You asked that yesterday, I think.
Medicine is supposed to, fix the problem, or at least, make them mildly normal. Or in his case, maybe vegetarize him. Not the point. Anyway, so if the medicine truly worked, why did he go through with the plan?
When he went through with the plan, he was not on this. He was only put on medicine after he was evaluated, after he was arrested and evaluated.
So why is the medicine necessary if the medicine occurrence started after the arrest?
Because it's showing that the man is trying to get, not showing that the people are trying to get the man better. And like they're trying to make him understand the nature of his actions and understand that what he did was completely wrong.
So this medicine, what proof do you have that you gave it to him? Like, how can you prove he's acting better if the man won't talk?
I'm gonna tag in George.
Can you please restate your question?
I said, what proof do you have that the medicine is taking effect?
The medicine isn't taking effect because he just started it. And we might have said that it has, but it has. Medicine, psychotic medicine kicks in like 6 to 8 weeks to kick in, so it hasn't really taken effect. It's only changing. He has to get used to it.
Are you a doctor?
No, but I got the information from my psychiatrist, Dr. Harvey.
What are your certifications, Ms. Harvey?
I do have my degree, so I do think that is certifiable.
Yes, you proof of this degree? I mean, did y'all read the text? Pretty sure y'all read. We all know he's guilty. And y'all said it yourself, it's not true. He literally stated multiple times that he knew what he was doing. So y'all are technically proving our point with the non-moral rules that
So many insane people don't believe they're insane because most you wouldn't want to be insane. It's seen as something bad, and that's why he kept on saying that. But also, if you look up there, it says, it's true, yes, I have been ill, very ill, which also proves that he's saying that he has been mentally ill.
Did he specifically say he was mentally ill?
At the end of the day, he's guilty. He literally stated what he did, how he did it, how he planned it. So he couldn't have been that mentally ill that he was so stupid and couldn't plan it.
As I stated before, the medicine that we were giving him hasn't really kicked in. It takes 2 to 6 weeks, and he had only been on it for a couple of weeks, like 2 to 1.
Your point don't make sense because he is guilty. You know he's guilty. That medicine ain't do nothing as y'all stated. That day he killed that old man overnight. He is guilty. Like, what are you talking about? Your point cannot be right.
He killed him over an eye, and the reason he killed him was because of the eye, and he felt as the eye was watching him, which is a sign of schizophrenia.
No, he just felt like it. So it was a really dumb. I'm not talking.
To finish off her statement, she was saying that he felt like the eye was watching him, which is a sign of schizophrenia. You.
So earlier, I heard you talk about the McDonald rule, right? And according to that, I believe it means if someone knows what they're doing is wrong, then they're guilty, right? If they know what they're doing is wrong. Now, this leads me to my point. So if he didn't like the old man because of the eye, that means he'd be harboring hate for a specific part of someone's body. And I know in the real world, if you're hating on someone else because of something they did, that would still be considered a hate crime.
So there was evidence which I think Ms. Powell got rid of in the slide, but it said it was a part of the text which said that he never hated the old man, and it said he never hated the old man, and he didn't kill him for his goals. So I don't think he hated him.
But he still hated his eye. That's a part of him, isn't it?
The reason he hated the eye was because he felt as it was watching him, which is as a sign of schizophrenia.
Now, if I may add, if I hate you because of the shape of your head, it's an example. If I hate you because of the shape of your head, do I still hate you? I hate you.
You don't hate me, you hate a characteristic of me, not my clothes.
So your claim is that the defendant has schizophrenia, am I correct? Okay, cool. So, the most common trait of schizophrenia is hearing voices and seeing hallucinations. And there is no evidence of him hearing voices and seeing hallucinations nowhere in the study. I'm not done. Now, what he did mention was his senses being heightened. So please explain to me where you got schizophrenia from. Since I don't
sounds that weren't there since.
Have you ever heard of figurative language?
But the way it's portrayed in the story, it sounds like he really has heard sounds from heaven and earth. As I said, yes, I've heard a figurative language, but the way he said it about his hearing being heightened, that he heard sounds from heaven and hell, which it could be figurative language, but I perceived it as
extremely loud, like y'all are talking loud and the door's open, right? Okay, so let's just say a teacher walks in and they're saying, I'm pretty sure people three buildings down can hear you. Do you really think that people from 3 buildings down can hear you, or is that just an exaggeration?
That's just an exaggeration. But from our claim, the claim that this, I perceive this person as mentally ill. So I believe that he is having a delusion. He's hearing things from heaven.
You claim that he's ill, but he said several times in the text that he's not ill. So are you really trying to sit here and allow the defendant to just lie to you? That in the actual court, because you have to remember it's not an actual court. In the actual court, and we're using his own words against him, that can get him a few years in prison for just lying about that. So even if, let's just say he is ill, him saying he's not ill isn't exactly helping his case. Wouldn't you agree?
He doesn't want to be seen as mentally ill, because would you want to be seen as mentally ill?
If I killed someone, yes.
But most mentally ill people claim that they are.
You know what? There will be no further questions.
Did y'all put her?
I said, so George, as you stated earlier, you said that the man felt that the vulture was watching him, right? What is your eye supposed to do?
Okay, but also the eye, yes, it continued to watch him, but he also felt the eye was bigger than it was, showing hallucination, which right here we have the eye. So since we can prove this the real eye by getting the DNA, which y'all were talking about earlier in the story.
So when you talk about our DNA, who else could have possibly been at the scene besides the narrator?
The narrator is the murderer. We know that. we're trying to prove that he's mentally ill, and that's the reason we killed him. There must be like a certain confusion like that.
Okay, so kind of our main point here. See, y'all have proven, well, y'all have told multiple times that he is guilty, right? So we can agree that he is guilty. Okay, so when y'all talk about insanity, like, okay, so didn't y'all say he was diagnosed with, what was it, schizophrenia? Like, how can we prove that?
Well, we have a psychiatrist, Dr. Karen Harville. If you want her to come up for the second time, she can. This is her second time.
As I stated earlier today and yesterday, I diagnosed him with schizophrenia because of his delusions and him hearing things which were not there.
But then, when I was asking you questions yesterday, you also stated, we're gonna get back to that medicine part. Cause you said that you gave him medicine before he killed the old man. So, yeah, which one is it? So, did your medicine not work?
The medicine didn't work because it takes 6 to 8 weeks to kick in as I stated.
Are you practicing under the table work like you doing illegal?
Can you clarify on that?
Because you know, when usually when you get a prescription from the doctor or whatever, you'll have a doctor's stamp, right? To show that it's legitimate. Are you sure you're not speaking of any kind of drugs?
I do have my degree, so I do know what I gave him. It's not here. I gave him. It's not here right now.
Where's the proof of your DNA? Because you have her signature and her diploma, which shows that she's an
Tell me, who else lived in the house with the narrator and the old man?
No, I'm not asking whose DNA it is. I'm asking where is the evidence of the DNA at?
The time has ran out. Listen. Point to stop at. Need you quiet. This is a good point to stop at. This is how it goes in real court. There's gonna be a day where one side might be winning, and then the other side's able to go back to their corners. Y'all went back to your corners. Y'all came up with some good evidence, and now you're counter. That's called a counterclaim. So that's what y'all did. Y'all just came up with a counterclaim. All right, we're gonna give each side 1 minute to reiterate to the jury what your point is, what your claim is, and your reason why you chose that claim. Before they deliberate, they can go and deliberate. All right, so no claim. So all right, we're gonna give them 2 minutes. Everybody just sit quietly, and they'll have their answer in 2 minutes. We'll figure out who won.
Mama call my lawyer cause it's time to go to trial. Time to go to trial. Time to go to trial.
All right, the jury has come to their verdict. It says, we the jury find the defendant not guilty by reason of the same.
The trial. Mama call my lawyer cause it's time to go to trial. It's time to go to trial. It's time to go to trial. All my gangsters around the world, get your lawyer cause it's time to go to trial. I say